viewers.
Thank you. The Regavim NGO released a report a week ago accusing the European Union of illegally funding unauthorized Palestinian building in areas under Israeli control as part of a strategic plan to create a de facto Palestinian state while avoiding the need to negotiate with Israel. Earlier, the director of Regavim's international desk, Briggs, told me that the response from the Prime Minister was swift.
Well, we were very surprised at the immediate response to our expose. Half an hour after the expose went live, we'd been working on the expose for up to a year, finding out all the information about what the EU had been building illegally in Area C. And the response of the Prime Minister was to instruct the Defence Minister to actually look into these illegal structures and see where they could be demolished, that they should be demolished.
Is your organization satisfied with this response, or do you believe that it's going to be a delaying tactic of some kind?
We were happy with the response. The actions are still to come. These things never take a short amount of time to get done. But the importance was, one of the important parts was that he did respond. The next part will be to see the Defence Minister's moves.
Has your organization received a direct response from the Prime Minister's office?
No, we haven't received anything. We've sent him a thank you for responding to the expose, to the report, and hoping that things will be done to ensure the rule of law and the equal application of that law.
Explain to me where these structures are being built, in what areas, and why you find this to be illegal.
So just east of Jerusalem, you have the Adumim area, where Malay Adumim, Kfar Adumim. In that area, including the E1 area, which is quite a sensitive area, these structures are built all around that area on the way, Road 1 going down to the Dead Sea. Most people pass it on the way down to the Dead Sea. On the right and the left, you'll see these 400 structures that have been built, and all of them are flagged with the EU flag.
Why is the EU carrying out this building? That's the question.
Yeah. Now, one thing I want to add about the building is we've also found, since the reports come out, buildings within Jerusalem. Just under the Hebrew University, we found another structure there with the EU flag on it. So, of course, we've reported on that one as well. Now, why would the EU be doing this? Well, they say it's humanitarian aid, but humanitarian aid should be worked through with the sovereign government, as is necessary with the Oslo Accords. So we believe, also by putting their flag and doing it so openly, they're saying we're giving diplomatic immunity to the Palestinian Authority's land grab of this land, which is so important to them and obviously so important to us.
Why would the Netanyahu government not take action before the expose that you aired?
That's a very good question. We're always trying to push the government to look after the state land. This land is critical to access so many different areas. Everyone who drives down to the Dead Sea sees it on both sides of the highway. It's dangerous. They're coming in and out of the highway. They're going into military zones, firing zones, and setting up homes there as well, all with the EU flag on it. So we don't know why the government's not enforcing the law when it should be enforcing the law, and that's why we're here to make sure it does.
What about the European Union itself? Have any officials contacted you? I know you mentioned that they are making claims of humanitarian aid, so can you elaborate on what their justification for the building is?
For sure. So at the same time as the expose went live here in Israel, there were some MEPs, members of the European Parliament, who submitted a letter claiming that the EU was breaking three of their own parts of their own treaty in doing this here in Area C and in Jerusalem. And that has now been sent not only to the Foreign Affairs Committee of the European Parliament, but to the European Commission itself. And we've already got a response from the European Commission that they will hear this and give us an official response.
Tell me more about Regavim and what your motivations are.
For sure. Well, we're a research organization with a legal advocacy arm. So we research illegal use of state lands, and we then take that information and file petitions to try and get the government to protect state land. The reason we're doing it is because the state land makes up such a large chunk of land here in Israel that it's important that the government protect that for future development in an orderly fashion. So what we're interested in is the rule of law and the equal application of that law.